Hi everybody, it's Kelsey McCarthy. This is my video doing a breakdown on my investigations using the Everyday Mathematics website that was provided to us from our professor. At first glance, I think that this website is very easily used. It might take a few times to really learn what your favorites are about this website, but I think that going through the tour, it does a really great job of showing teachers all of the possibilities that you can have through this amazing website. The first beginning page of the tour is of the overview and materials. So this is a lesson plan presentation. I think that it is so nice to have a basis for all of your lesson plans. And even if this one was just to have for math, I think it would be efficient enough to just use it for that. I like that it has a breakdown of the vocabulary used, the materials, prints, digital, additional, and the standards listed out for you. And going through it tells you everything you need to do, how to actually plan your lesson. So the website states that you can get a bird's eye view of the day's lesson activities, including differentiation opportunities for readiness, enrichment, extra practice, and support for English language learners. I think that this is very important for teachers because having so many opportunities and examples through your lessons is very crucial, and sometimes although you can plan ahead, you never really know how much extra practice students are going to need, so this would allow you to have sections for that. Next, it goes on to how the lesson presentation comes directly from your landing page, how you can make edits, and how you can customize your own presentations. So that allows teachers that want to be a little bit more hands-on through their creativity and lesson planning. This would allow you to do so. So you just go to Launch Editor to do that. And then the next slide takes you how to review your activity slides. And it states that the makeup of your 3-part lessons, and you can add your own slides to customize your personal instruction per lesson. And you can also hide selected resources from your presentation, which is great because sometimes we as teachers want those to have on hand, but don't want students to have access of it just quite yet. If it's something that's kind of hidden that you'll introduce once it has been taught to the students, I think that's a great way to go about that. I also really enjoy that McGraw-Hill has easy navigating through the important components through the digital program, like the class management option. I think that this is so great. You can have all of the students located on there. It allows parents to have access to it too, which is a great resource because teachers are never gonna, or parents are never gonna come back with the excuse of, oh, they lost it, it was never sent home, we don't have the grades. This allows parents, teachers, and students to really see where they're progressing, if there's missing work, their grades, what they can improve on. And you can easily create and edit your list. And this can apply to your calendars as well, which is a really great way to have everything together. Let's see. And then it leads you to learning the resources. And this is everything that we as teachers would need to implement to reach the everyday mathematics, and this includes grade level videos, tutorials from authors, quick start guides, and implementation guide, which is really great too. So it shows you how you can go through the unit and the lesson, and it also allows you to go to assessments and how those are generated, which I think is a really great source to have all of this together. You have your assigned tests, you have your test library, so you can put your new ones in there, or you can save your ones from the year before. So this is a really great, and even for middle school or high school teachers, if they're having more than one math class that they're teaching, this is a great tool for them to have that because it's in their schedule and it can have the section of test. So I think that that is a great resource. And the unit is just a complete lineup of your lesson plan that you just created, and it has each lesson plan that makes up the entire unit all at one page. You can scroll through and see everything. If you want to prep early, you can go and look through all of your materials and get all the materials you're going to need for this entire section. So I think that that is really helpful for teachers, especially beginning teachers, because I think we have a lot of information out there and some districts will want us to use another resource than another district could want us to use. So I think it's great for us to kind of find some on our own and become familiar with it. So I'm glad that this class is offering that to us. Next, they talk about the spiral tracker, and the spiral tracker is exposure of specific standards across the entire grade and how it is addressed within the lesson parts. So each standard within every domain is tracked to full mastery, and the practice opportunities extends throughout the entire year. So students and parents can go back and look and see every lesson, every unit completed and what they're really learning. So I think that that is great for teachers to go back and reflect and for students too as well. It shows how you can launch your activities once you're ready for an activity inside a lesson. So it's nice just to be able to create links like that for students to follow along as well. And it also states that once an activity has been completed, a full suite of tools, including rubrics and class checklists, are available to help track your students' progress in real time. So it's never a question to the students, who finished this? Who still has this left to do? It just allows you to completely bypass that, and teachers are able to see where their students are at and where students know where they should be expected to be with their classmates. And you can also go on to evaluate that, and based on the chosen grading scale, teachers can easily evaluate the students on performance with the activity, which is great. It just allows us to do everything all right there. We're not going through the website and then having to go and handwrite a grade, or go through a different file and put a grade in electronically. So this is just, it cuts out a lot of the back and forth work. The quick entry tool in the evaluation portion is efficient to record evaluations of the students' performance. And this goes on to show if students are meeting, if they are not quite there. It letters it off in scores of NE, NM, PM, A, and M. So that is sometimes a little bit less stressful to the students to see rather than a letter grade. It kind of is saying if they're meeting it, if they're proficient, and also is color coded, so it's a bit easier to understand, especially for ELL students. It then leads us on to the recommendations report, and this is a tool that delivers actionable information to help us teachers adapt and personalize our instruction while providing feedback to families and administrators. I think that this is probably the most helpful because it's going to show how many students are not meeting in your activities, how many students partially meet the activities, and if they're approaching to meeting the activities, and if they actually meet. So this is just really great. You don't have to do the graph work. It just automatically simulates where your class is and what you as a teacher can do to improve. And the recommendation report, you can use between 5 interactive reports, and you can filter by the individual student. You can make selections based on specific standards in math practices, as well as various evaluation types. And I think that that is really great. It just gives students more of an idea of where they're at and where they should be, which students will excel more when they have clear expectations placed for them. And this website allows teachers to show students the expectations. It then goes on to take you through the eToolkit, and this provides digital versions of manipulatives such as fraction circles, pattern blocks, dice, number lines, clocks, and geosolids. It states that teachers and students have access to the same eToolkit with the ability to use tools found in other grade levels. This is so amazing. It puts everything right at your fingertips to, just create variety in what the students are learning, and allows teachers just to go in and compare from different grade levels. They also have the ebooks through their site, which is really great. This gives us digital access to every print component of Everyday Mathematics, as well as digital-only resources like Home Connection handbooks and the implementation guide that we mentioned earlier. It also has teacher lesson guides for current grade, as well as one grade prior and one grade after. These are also provided to support your instruction, and I think that is really great. Teachers can never have enough resources to finding different lesson plans to make sure that we're hitting the Common Core state standards, as well as the Everyday Mathematics, everything that they have to offer. And it will then take us to the implementation section. And so this has great videos to get you started on it. And it also offers a wealth of professional development opportunities, which includes everything from videos created by the program authors and step-by-step guides. So again, super helpful to us teachers. It also has the everyday games portion, and this can provide students with more opportunities in practicing content learned. If they finish an assignment early, this would be a great option to direct students to go ahead and play one of their math games. And then there's a Beat the Computer, which kind of gives students a bit of competition to see how well they are doing in lessons that were just previously taught. So that about wraps up the Everyday Mathematics tour that I did on my own. I feel like that it's just incredibly successful for students, and they will really enjoy using it, and teachers too.